Greetings again. This is the ThaBadbrey Astral Traveler. I'm going to speak to you about sleep paralysis. Alright. Slow. Sleep paralysis. You want to know why it's happening to you, why it occurs, and how you can deal with it. In order to deal with this, you need to know exactly what is happening. I went through sleep paralysis for, from the age of about 3 years old up until age, 26. Had no idea what was happening. No idea. Terrified. Sleep paralysis would take place with me around 3 to 4 times a night per week. 3 to 4 times a night per week. Sometimes 3 days out of the week, I would have sleep paralysis. And sometimes 3 to 4 times a night, I would have sleep paralysis. And I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was taking place and why it was taking place. So, when I reached age, 26, I started investigating to find out exactly what was going on, yeah? I started investigating to find out exactly what was going on. This is what I found out, yeah? Now, after long, drawn-out research into this area, I have come to my own conclusion as to what's happening. Now, sleep paralysis, what's happening? When you dream, alright, when you go into a dream state, this is what happens. Based upon my research and my own personal experience of this phenomenon. When you dream, yeah, you go to your bed, you're tired. You're in a state of trance already because you're tired, okay? You fall asleep. As you fall asleep, your brain, yeah, starts falling asleep. You start going into the realm of the unconscious. At this stage, your physical body is lying on the bed or wherever you're lying. If you're lying on a chair, lying on the floor. But in this example, you're lying on the bed, on your back, or lying in the bed in some way. And your physical body is lying there. And what happens is, as you reach into the state of becoming unconscious and falling into a dream state, what happens is your etheric body rises up above your physical body, all right? You have your physical body here, and then you have the etheric body, otherwise known as the etheric double. This etheric double occupies the same area as the physical body. However, when you sleep, this etheric double rises up above your physical body slightly. Now, the thing about with this etheric double, this etheric body, whatever it does, yeah, however it moves, is dependent upon the actual experience you're having at the time on a conscious level. So the perspective you have when you're in your physical body, yeah, is of the physical world and the physical realm, all right? So, for example, if I want to pick up a cup with my physical body, as I move my physical body to pick up the cup, my etheric body is doing the exact same thing because it's mimicking exactly what my physical body is doing. It's mimicking as a result of what I experience consciously, all right? Because you choose to experience a certain realm. And when you're in the physical realm, you're experiencing the physical realm. Alright? Now, when you sleep, as soon as you fall asleep, your body is still moving. Your etheric double is occupying the same space as your physical body. Alright? And then when you fall asleep, this etheric body rises up slightly above the physical body. Alright? And then what happens is that conscious part of you, otherwise known as the monad, alright? It rises up from the perspective of the physical and goes into the etheric and moves up from the etheric body, keeps moving upwards into the astral realm. And then it carries on moving upwards from the astral realm into the realm of the mental. As soon as it gets to the mental realm, all of a sudden you become aware again. Your eyes open up and it's like you wake up in the dream. In the mental realm. You're in the mental realm and you're inside a dream. Now, in this mental realm, the part of you that's experiencing that experience, yeah, experiencing mental reality, what happens is your mental body is walking around the mental realm and you're experiencing the mental reality of it. And whatever your mental body is doing in the dream, the etheric double is still floating above your body. So stay with me. You have the physical body here. Then you have the etheric body, which is floating just above the physical body. And then you have the astral body, which is above the etheric body. Then above the astral body, you have the mental body. When you're dreaming, you are in this mental body, all right? So you're inside the mental body, you're walking around. Whatever actions the mental body takes, if you're running in a field, say you're having a dream about running in a field and your mental body's running, your etheric double, even though it's floating above your physical body during sleep, the etheric double mimics exactly what's happening with the mental body. So the mental body is running in the field, in the dream, and then you have the etheric double, which is mimicking that, moving around, doing exactly the same thing as the mental body. All right? Now, usually, when the etheric body moves or animates itself, or becomes animated, the physical body moves at the exact same time. All right? Now, if that took place during sleep, then what would happen is every time you're dreaming of running in a field and your mental body is running around, your etheric double would mimic that movement, and then your physical body would start moving as well, and it would wake you up in bed and you won't be able to sleep. So what nature has done is nature has built in a failsafe, and this failsafe makes your physical body become paralyzed whenever you go into a state of sleep. So when you go into a state of sleep, your physical body becomes paralyzed as your etheric body rises up above it. So you're lying on your bed, your etheric body rises up as you fall asleep, and then as the etheric body rises up, the physical body becomes paralyzed. And then the perspective you have of the awareness you have of your surroundings, which is how you experience the realm you're in, it moves from the physical into the etheric, then into the astral, and then goes up into the mental realm. But during that process of when it's traveling from the physical into the mental, you're not aware of it. Most people aren't aware of that. They wake up in the dream, in the mental realm, and they're having their dream in the mental realm. All right? So back to what I was saying about the paralysis. Your physical body is paralyzed once your etheric body rises up to a certain level above your physical body during sleep. All right? And this is so you don't wake yourself up as a result of the etheric body mimicking the movements of the mental body in the mental plane while you're having a dream. All right? Now, when you wake up, this is what happens naturally. You're in the mental realm having a dream. All right? And then what happens is you naturally wake up. And what happens is a vortex opens up. It's like a spinning vortex that opens up in the mental realm. And this vortex that opens, it creates a tunnel or a pathway from the mental realm all the way down through from the mental realm into the astral realm, then past that to the etheric realm, then back into the physical body. And through that pathway, your actual perspective of seeing things, your experience, falls all the way back down. Yourself, otherwise known as the monad. Your monadic self falls all the way back down through the realms into the physical realm. Okay? Then as soon as all your subtler bodies realign with the physical, then you regain like your motor skills and you wake up. All right? Now, most people aren't aware of this process. Usually in the dream, you're dreaming, and then all of a sudden, you might see the atmosphere start to disintegrate, or you might see things start to spin around, and all the images that you were having in the dream, they start to kind of disintegrate and merge into each other, kind of like a collage or a painting of some kind. And then, as they fade into nothing, you feel like you're falling. Because you are falling. You're falling back down through the vibrational realms of existence, back into the physical body. And then the subconscious mind starts to create for you mentally a image of falling. So you might dream of falling off a building, or falling off of a cliff, or falling off of a chair in some way. And then as you fall down, you get back into the physical body and you wake up. Now, most people aren't conscious of this, as I said, while they're falling. They only open their eyes once they get into the physical body. However, what happens in sleep paralysis is as follows. You're in the mental realm having a dream, and then everything starts to disintegrate and the vortex opens up and you start making your way down from the mental realm into the astral realm, then into the etheric realm. And then when you get to the etheric realm, some people become aware, they become conscious at that point when they reach the etheric realm, which is too early, because if you become conscious and aware when you're in the etheric realm, your etheric body as well as the other subtler bodies have not realigned with the physical body. Therefore, because you have not realigned with the physical body yet, the physical body is still paralyzed. However, you're still aware. So what happens is this. You open your eyes, you open your etheric eyes, and because your conscious perspective is inside, your monad is inside the etheric body, when the etheric body opens its eyes, the physical body opens its eyes as well, all right? So what happens is you're able to see out of the eyes of your physical body, yeah, as a result. But the rest of you is completely paralyzed, all right? It's completely paralyzed. And sometimes your eyes aren't even open physically. It just feels that way because you're looking through your etheric eyes, all right? But your body is paralyzed. And what usually happens is the etheric body is slowly, all the other subtler bodies and your monad are slowly just realigning with the physical body. And it just takes time before it realigns. And if you just wait and just relax, everything would realign. And then you'll regain your motor skills and you'll get up. But because most people panic, they open their etheric eyes, they're able to see through their physical eyes, and then they're paralyzed, then they say, oh my gosh, I'm paralyzed, I can't move. They panic, and they panic. And then as a result of this panic, what happens, because the etheric body is so close to the physical body at that point, remember the physical body is here and the etheric body is up here. Because it's so close, what happens is you're able to see through your etheric eyes, and at the same time, you're able to see through your physical eyes. And what that does, it creates a loop where your physical body is looking at the etheric body and the etheric body is looking at the physical body and the physical body is looking at the etheric body, and it's like a feedback loop that takes place, and usually that boggles the mind. It makes people say, oh my gosh, what's happening? So as a result of that feedback loop, the physical body decides to perceive the etheric body floating directly above it, but it doesn't see it for what it is, which is just energy. It sees it as a shadow, all right? And due to the fact that most people haven't got control of their thoughts, they start to imagine the worst case scenario. Because they're already feeling fear and they're lying in their bed, they're saying, oh my gosh, I can't move, I'm feeling fear. Then they see this thing floating above them, which is their etheric body, really. It's their etheric double. And then they start to imagine, oh my gosh, what is it? Is it a beast? Is it a demon? Is it a spirit? Has something come into my room and is it going to attack me? And as soon as you start imagining that, you start to perceive your own etheric body as something evil or some type of invader. So if you have images of, for example, horror films or demons, or you've got thoughts of negative entities coming into your room, it's very likely you will perceive your own etheric body as a negative entity, even though it is not. It's just energy. And a lot of people go through this experience. They're paralyzed. They look up. They see this float. They feel this floating presence in their room when it's their etheric body. And then they start to imagine that it's the worst case scenario. Then they start to see it for what they think it is within their subconscious mind, which is why it's important to learn to control your thoughts and learn not to imagine the worst case scenario. Okay? Now, there are some instances where there are beings that come into people's rooms and trying to attack them. But with the people I've worked with, 80 to 90% of the time when people have experienced sleep paralysis and they have said, I've seen a shadow in my room, usually it's their own etheric body that they're actually seeing. And they're perceiving it as something evil because they're imagining the worst case scenario and their subconscious mind is interpreting it as something evil when it actually is not. It's just energy and you're making it look like something that it actually is not. All right? So, sleep paralysis. Again, I'll go from the top. You're in the mental realm dreaming. The vortex opens up. You go downwards through the realms, from the mental realm into the astral realm, then back into the etheric realm. Okay? And then you become aware early. You become aware for some reason. And then, because you haven't been realigned with your physical body, you are still paralyzed physically, even though you can perceive the room around you. Then you panic and you're like, what's happening? What's happening? Then you see your etheric body floating next to you, and then you perceive it as something evil because you are in fear and you're imagining the worst case scenario. Okay? A way to combat that is as follows. As soon as you feel yourself falling from the dream state, okay, and your eyes open and you're paralyzed, at that point, relax. Just relax and breathe, okay? Keep your eyes closed and relax and breathe. And slowly, you wake up as normal. Slowly, your etheric body and the rest of the subtler bodies, the mental body, the astral body, the etheric body, will all line up with the physical body, and then you'll regain your motor skills. Your motor skills will be regained, and then you'll just wake up as normal. Do not panic, because it just makes it worse. That's all that's happening. All right? I know it was a long explanation, but based upon my experience of astrally projecting and learning and taking notes after each projection, this is what I found out in terms of how these different realms work and how they interact with each other and why sleep paralysis takes place. All right? So, that is that. The ThaBadbrey Astral Traveler. Stay tuned.